So I just gave the Jeep a wash. It's a really nice day out, like very, very warm out today, and the sun is just very, very bright. So it was the perfect day to give it a wash. It definitely needed it. It's been a week since I put on, actually over a week now. We're probably coming up on 2 weeks since I did the Bedliner, and it's held up. I mean, it's gorgeous compared to last time. The coverage is so much better. It's really, I'm just pleased. Absolutely pleased with the way it came out. I actually realized I missed like a little spot on the inside near the roll bar where it's very difficult to get to. You can see a little bit of yellow shining through, but other than that, I nailed it perfect. Now, one thing I actually want to show off is I have this is the bar that's in the back of soft tops. If you have one, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's mostly a thing for water and to keep like the air down, otherwise there's nothing here. It just kind of flaps a little bit and it'll easily let water in. Now this one isn't actually mine. My soft top did not have one when I bought this Jeep. I don't know, I mean the previous owner was not great to begin with, but they probably just lost it. I don't know, probably lost it, left it, forgot it, whatever, it doesn't matter. I didn't have it. So that one is actually one out of a YJ, for a YJ soft top. It does fit, but I'm not even sure it's exactly right. Like the latch, the Velcro here doesn't quite mesh up with it. But it worked, and it's been working for me. Now, one problem with it, though, is that when I've slid it in, I've been very careful, but I think it just rubs, and you can see it completely rubbed off the bed liner. It did this to me last time I bed lined it. I had, like, parts from it here because the sides on this, especially here, too, like, I actually put this down on my back. I used to keep it in the back here, and one day I put it in the back, and it kind of slid, and it left a nice little scar right on the bed liner. So it's actually a very sharp metal on the end here, and where it sits when you put it in is this right here. So you can see I think it's been rubbing, just vibration from the Jeep. And that's not good, so I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to like sand this down, maybe get some putty for it, because you can tell this thing is already beaten up already. I've just been using it. The soft top it came off of isn't being used, probably won't ever be used again. So it's been working out nice for me instead of having to buy a brand new one. But I do want to take care of that because it's like I did this 2 weeks ago and it's like that already happened. I'm like, ah, man, you know, I probably would end up buying, I still have a bottle of Raptor liner, but I probably would end up buying another quart of Hercule liner because I could definitely see myself using more of that in the future and doing some touch-ups because it meshes so well. But other than that aside, the bed liner, I just wanted to make an update that it's been very good. I'd give you a good look around. It's just so much nicer this time. It's very, very nice. Everything I learned from the previous time really paid off doing it this time. And I love the stuff. I love it to death. I love it so much. I did have that spray over here. I just didn't bother trying to get this off yet. I still have a little bit here I've been working off, you can tell, and I had a bit of a spray over here. And that's just me being lazy with masking. That didn't happen to me the first time. That was absolutely me being lazy. But that aside, it came out so well, and I'm very, very happy with it. Along with a little touch-up I did, made it look nice. So then a week later, I went ahead and I took my Jeep down to the same guy who welded the other side of my frame way long ago when I first picked it up. It needed to be done because, boy, that was awful. You can remember that long. And he did this side of my frame, and look at this. He did such a good job. Basically, he's a good guy. I like him a lot. He does good work, does a lot of stuff on Jeeps. And he basically told me, like, I asked him to do up here. Basically is what was happening. I think I took a video of that somewhere. I'm not sure if I've definitely showed it off before that it needed to be done, and it was just not good over here. It was definitely falling apart. It was starting to crack alongside here, and it wasn't going to last. I mean, if it went through another winter, it was going to be bad by that time next year. You know what I mean? So I decided to get it done now, and he basically told me he did over here, and I asked him to touch up the other side too, which I'll show you in a sec. But he did it, and he's like, well, you know, I started going, and I figured I'd just do the whole thing for you, and he patched up this side too, where there was a hole that was not so good over here. It was actually very loose around the hole, and then further as you went through here, it was not good. So he went ahead and he did that whole thing for me. I think it's a 3/8 plate he welded on there, and he did this. This is polyurethane stuff that they use to paint they do plows there, so it's the same stuff. It's this polyurethane stuff. It's like what I had done to my 97, and it's really nice stuff. It's so nice. I mean, it looks brand new, and he also covered up the bottom here with a plate too. And as you get more inside, he also did the inside of the frame too. So this right here, that is solid. I do not have to worry about my frame falling apart anymore, because like I said, halfway through my skid pan and up, my frame is in excellent shape. And now the back, absolutely taken care of. It's in really good shape. It looks beautiful. I love the way it looks. Came out so good. And really well done. Over here, we got the one he did. He touched us up with me with the polyurethane stuff over here. I don't think he did any more touch up on this one that he did last, that was a year and a half ago now when he did, no, we're coming up on 2 years. It'll be October in a month, so it'll be off this Jeep for 2 years. He also patched up, this was a shit patch that was previously on here when I picked it up. It was like a really shit patch, but you could already, there was like holes in it, like they didn't do a very good job, so he went ahead and he routed that up for me. Also coated some more of that polyurethane stuff all over here for me. So that was really, really nice of him. I appreciate it. His name is Chris Jr. at Smith's Jeep at Franklin, Connecticut. He's a really good guy. I've had him do work before, and I would certainly take my Jeep there to do work in the future. So really quality work. I think he does a great job. Nice guy. And I really appreciate it. Came out so damn nice. I love it. And now I just have peace of mind, you know what I mean? I don't have to worry about this falling apart. I don't have to worry about shit getting kicked up here. This was the biggest problem. Like, now both of mine are covered up, so I'm glad with that. But there are stock holes on TJs here for the TJ frame. And obviously, your tire just kicks shit up in here. It can't be helped. It's just how it happens. And then shit, you can see the way this is put. It's like this. There's no drain hole here. So it just sits here, the liquid, the sand, the dirt, the salt, all that shit. And then it rots out from the inside. So that's covered up. It is damn solid now, and I don't have to worry about that. I have such peace of mind. It's great. So I'm really close to finishing up underneath. I wanted to do a walk around right now just to show off. Now you can tell this was the worst part of my frame to date as of now. Now that it's taken care of, my frame is in really good shape. I'm sort of in shock and awe, like disbelief. Like, man, I can't believe my rusty falling apart Jeep is actually in good shape now. And what I want to do is just go a walk around with my plans for the frame and the undercoating before this winter. Now a year ago I did one coat, and not a very good coat, of POR-15. They actually recommend you do 2 coats, no less than 2 coats at least, if not more, of POR-15. I only did 1. So I just wanted to show how it held up well in some places and didn't hold up as well as others. You can see there's, after a year, this is well over a year of POR-15 on New England roads, which, if you're not familiar with New England, a lot of salt, a lot of shit out here. Vehicles do not do well throughout the winter. A lot of stuff rusts up out here. Other places, they don't have that problem. They sometimes have no idea what you're talking about. Like, how can this be in such a bad shape? You just don't take care of it. Well, no. I mean, a lot of people don't, but the fact is, the roads are harsh up here, especially during, I mean, actually, just like my road was tarred the other day, a couple weeks ago, and that got a lot of shit kicked up here that I had to scrape off. But no, the winters, the salt and everything, it's rough. The snow, the extreme, no, I guess I wouldn't say extreme, but it gets cold up here. It gets wet. There's a saying, if you don't like the weather in New England, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. So that kind of gives you an idea. I've had it all here, just about everything. I just want to go along. This is a spot I kind of want to touch up. Any spots like these where it's kind of rotting. Not really rotting, but kind of, it's kind of tearing away a little bit. The up and under here, kind of get an idea. If I get underneath the gas can here, got all this. So what I really want to hit is the places I couldn't hit last year, where I couldn't get to. My back wheel wells are fine. They're the drums, I suppose. They're not really wheel wells, they're the drums in the back. And then my front discs are not looking great on the inside. Come to the front. The front's in pretty good shape. It's just the kind of like there. It's like, I don't know what to do with those. I guess I could coat that in POR-15, but I just want to be careful about it. Got a little bit of chipping there. Everything here is pretty good. I didn't ever coat my axle, my front axle here, but it's actually in good shape. Everything else actually basically got hit where it mattered. You can tell, like, way back up there, I didn't get any up there, but nothing gets kicked up there. I got my skid pan, I got my full frame. I basically got the full frame. The control arms here, back end front. All my bars here are in pretty good shape. I'm gonna hit that again. Like I said, I'm gonna be hitting this all again. I just want to do this walk around to show you. Like, this was everything I coated and how it held up after a year. Long story short, POR-15 held up well. I do clean my frame when I get the chance, when I know it's been through a lot. When I wash my Jeep, I clean my frame. I go through my undercoating now on the driver's side. The driver's side is now, I'd say the passenger side is actually in better shape now. Again, like I know inside my frame there's, well, this side's actually good, but there's, you can hear some of that. It's much worse in the back, but I can't actually reach into the back now. Now, even though these have been patched up, and I have patches here, my plan is still to, I had drilled, actually it got covered up a little bit, you can't really see it, but I drilled very, very small holes. I don't even know what size these were when I drilled them, but in the end these are going to become 1-inch holes. I kind of wanted a 1-inch hole, like at least that size, for draining. I wanted to take a power washer and my air compressor and blow as much shit out of here as I possibly could, and just getting some drain holes. There isn't as big of a deal to me, but I still want to get a drain hole in there. And here's the biggest thing, but now that these are covered up, I don't have to worry about shit getting kicked up directly into it. That's the problem. Shit gets kicked up there, and that's why this looks like this and that looks like that, is because shit just gets kicked up here, and just the way they had it designed just did not work out well. And that's just not just for my Jeep, not that it's not been taken care of, because it hasn't, but I've seen it happen on Jeeps that have been taken care of. So this was the place I did a really good job. My very first time using POR-15 and POR patch. This came out excellent, and the reason this is excellent and much better than everything else, I used 3 coats and I used the 3-step process of the marine clean and the degreaser and then the POR-15. So if you're going to do it and you really want to do it right, I tell you, use the 3-step process, because this dried very well, this adhered very nicely, it's held up the best out of anything under this entire Jeep that I did POR-15 on. And the POR patch too, excellent stuff. If you're going to use POR-15 and you need to patch anything around here, you got some like holes like I did, like I had the hole there. POR patch, man, this stuff is tough as, like this is tough. This is really, really tough stuff. So once it dries, you're in good shape. Now, we also got spots like this that I got to take care of, where I was talking about when I took my seat bolt out. This is actually bent. I have not had the seat bolt in here since I put the seat back in, and it's actually been okay. But I need to like try to bend this back up and POR patch this and then POR-15 so it will stop rusting. I had this whole area here, and you can't really see too well because I can't turn the camera right, but there is a hole in this little, I think this is a drain rail is actually what this is. I'm not entirely sure. It's like part of the, is this part of the body? It is part of the body. So I think it is a drain rail, and then this is the body mounts to the frame. So yeah, I got a hole that caved up back here, and there's a lot of shit in there. It's just more stuff I want to blow out before I do this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this all down, and then I'm going to blow everything out of it and completely clean it. Then I'm going to come at it with the POR-15. I do have some leftover marine clean and degreaser, which I will use accordingly where I need it, but I don't plan on using it overall. You should be okay with just POR-15 like me. Like I said, this was a 1-coat thing too, and everything still came out nice. I got some of this that's chipping away, but most of it's in really good shape. Some of the parts where the body mounts are to the frame are like kind of like on the insides here, like up in here is where it's kind of bad. It could use some attention as I crawl further underneath this thing. The skid plate is in actually really good shape. It's got some nicks and stuff. We come inside, and I've got stuff where, well, this is where it got welded. I think, yeah, I didn't quite get as good of a coating here as I wanted to, and I want to come out here again. And everything out here, the axle, again, the axles are good. That's where my handbrake is, and I shouldn't not be able to coat that, because that's not looking great. I'd like to take care of that. Up here, as you go more up here, we got some rust up there, and I want to take care of that. Any of these hard to reach places. See, this is like cracking from the inside. Like, that's kind of like chipping off, but I think it's from the inside. And that doesn't feel great. I haven't really taken a good look at this since I got it patched. But it's not ideal, you know what I mean? But I can't work miracles on a budget when you picked up something like this. And who knows, you know what I mean? In like 10 years, who knows what kind of shape it'll be in, you know what I'm saying? And then everything else is in pretty good shape. Anything I didn't show you, like I said, anywhere as you get closer to the front's just in good shape. It's just in really good shape. This piece right here, then that's going from the transfer case to the axle. And I don't see any reason I didn't coat this last time. I don't see any reason I can't coat this. I think this is just an outer pipe too, so no reason I can't coat that. Bottom of my engine is, well, I got something like that right there, but I suppose I could hit that. There's no reason I can't hit that. Like anything like that, I'm going to be hitting. You see a spot up there I missed where I didn't get before. Most of this held up good. The fenders, I've already decided to replace the fenders, so I am going to hit the fenders, but I'm not going to focus on them because they're just rotting away. They can't really be saved at this point. I've talked to two guys who are very, like, I trust them a lot, and they're like, yeah, you know what, you don't want to mess with those. Like, you're going to weld it, and then you're going to find it's just going to come back through in a year or two, so you just want to get new ones and take care of them. So that's what I'm going to do. And then the final thing, after I do everything with my frame here that we've gone over, we got this. Now this side isn't as bad, but I do want to take care of this. Ever since I picked this up, I wanted to get armor for this. At very least, I wanted to get the side panels, like the diamond plated side panels. So I'm looking for something good that I can go right over these and go right under the extra flare here, which I could take off if I wanted to, but I could always drill holes. That's not a problem. It's really this is what the problem is, that I want to cover this up. Not just cover it up, I'm going to sand this down. When I start doing this frame, it's going to be something I'm finally going to hit. Is I'm going to sand this down, and then I'm going to POR-15 it, but it's going to look like a mess. So I want to cover it up with a panel that I always wanted to begin with, so it just works out really well. I've got the this spot over here, and I think I'm going to hit this at the same time, but I don't know, because I don't want this to spread, you know what I mean? But I do also want, they make like these I'd be okay with getting the plastic ones because they're already molded to fit, but they make pieces that go here, and then they make a piece of diamond plating that goes around here, and they make a piece that also fits around here. And that would also help cover up this crappy, shitty touch-up paint they did when I picked it up, and I would just love to cover that up and never have to look at it again. And then if I ever did get around to actually doing a repaint, knock on wood, I could just hopefully take them off and just repaint and then put them back on. Now this side on the passenger side is what's really worse. This is what really has got me concerned. The other side isn't as bad. I want to take care of it. This side is spreading a lot quicker. Like last year, like it was here. You know what I mean? Like this wasn't here. Now we got this. So I really don't want this to be coming up here. I've seen Jeeps where they just like they've lost the complete piece here. It wouldn't be the end of the world to me, but I still want to stop it while I can. You know what I mean? So this would be the other thing I do. I would sand down the whole frame, and then I would sand down this piece. Probably just tape off this and sand this all down. Try to get inside too. I've already broken off the pieces that were here, which is actually good for me because I can actually reach up in here now. So that's my plan, and then, you know, like I said, the diamond plating would be nice. It would look very good, and it would help cover this up once I POR-15'd it. So that's that. The whole walk around, in short, POR-15 has held up really well. Yeah, there are some chips here or there, but again, I only used one coat. So considering I only used one coat when they ask you to use no less than 2, if not, you know, 3 or 4, which I would recommend, do 4 like light coats. But I know it was a long one, but I really wanted to get all that into one thought. That's my plan. My preview for this week. I got a longer week this week, and I'm going to be going at that in the next couple minutes, sanding out that. I'm also going to be sanding out the YJ. Isn't as nearly bad. It's like bad in specific spots, and then everything else is in pristine shape. I hit the frame on it last year, and I hit most of it, but I bought a gallon, so I plan on using the majority of the gallon so I don't lose it like I did my last gallon. That's the plan. Honestly, the biggest thing for me is just doing this. Covering all this will be nice, but doing these are the big plans. So as I get dropped on by a helicopter, I'm gonna get started on this, and as I get going, I'll keep you guys updated.